Where do new car haulers get reliable information? There's no school, and most YouTube videos, you've seen this. They try to rope in the newbies by bragging about how much money you can make with a truck you already own. Is that real? Are they just getting views, setting you up for failure because they're getting out of trucking too? This is ATI, where truth is shared. So you want to be a car hauler, where do you get reliable information? If you can't get it here, oh God, help us all. Please say hello in the live chat, share your thoughts, take some notes, and learn from the best on ATI Auto Business. What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to Industry Logistics on ATI Auto Business, where some people learn more about how the automotive industry really works. All right, so you want to be a car hauler. What do we need to do? You're searching for answers. You're new. You need somewhere reliable you can go. You've been searching on YouTube. Thanks for finding my dispatcher training series. You found videos on how to load. I skipped the videos about getting rich because it's just dumb. And you know, you've heard things like, wow, there's a parking crisis and there's other issues. And okay, who is Cox for suing Super? What is that? And what are you talking about? Ratings and credits and pricing and hacking? Wait, what am I getting into? So, you know, I tried to create this channel where I dedicated, I started in logistics, and I thought, well, I'll try to help all the verticals in automotive get to know your ecosystem, from new and used and dealer and auction, logistics and remarketing, etc. Problem is, nobody cares, really. This industry is about money. It just is, man. So don't worry about getting to know your ecosystem. What happens is you're going to get a lot of emails about you got to read this and do this and there's these rules, and as soon as you deliver and load sheets, this is what you need to focus on. And what are we talking about? How did you get to this point? Text only, EBOL, it happens really fast. Believe me. If you're a month or two in, you already know. And then you start seeing stuff like, man, wait, cars being dinged and AI and tech and I didn't put a scratch on that. And then this guy says in my YouTube comments, I've been a repo company for over 20 years. I'm not getting any help from associations either. And that brings us back to, I tried to say get to know your ecosystem. It doesn't work. Okay, so we're the neutral zone. We're the channel that's going to tell you what you need to focus on if you're trying to get into car hauling. And yeah, there's a ton of fraud out there. You're going to run into that too. You're going to really hate what you find out about fraud. And then there's companies saying we're fixing it and all this crap. Dude, this is industry logistics. We're trying to shoot you straight. The guy says, I hope you're doing well. I want to learn about car hauling. Can you help guide me through? So here's the deal. I don't drive a truck. I don't load cars. I just run this YouTube channel where I try to talk about it. So please help me wish a very warm welcome to my guests today, the experts. Some experts. I know, it's quite a build-up. Sue and Konstantin, can you see me and hear me okay?
Yes. How's it going,
Yes.
Jay?
Hey.
All right, so how did I do? How's the intro?
It was great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know about
First try.
experts.
You got
but-
Right, I know.
Yeah.
So we're already in trouble.
it.
Actually, this is a great starting point because if you search YouTube, doesn't everybody say, seem like an expert?
They seem like it, yeah.
True.
They seem like experts. And
Yeah.
who are you listening to? Who's on YouTube making videos about getting into car hauling?
Sometimes you have no idea.
I mean, you really don't know. And is there a school? I said there's no school. Is there a school to learn about car hauling?
School of Hard Knocks. That's about it.
School of
Yeah,
Hard Knocks.
good
Yeah.
point.
And there are, so this is part of the, I'm rough on the ecosystem now. I'm tired of it all. So now I'm just calling the shots. And that is that the ecosystem's not really going to help you. Are auctions going to help you understand car hauling?
No.
No. They need their cars
No.
moved, but they're really not going to help you. Are dealers
No.
going to help you learn about car hauling?
No.
Nope.
No. And here, this is important. There is a difference between owner-operators and fleets. In fleet car hauling, which is mostly new car hauling, you have companies with full-size trucks and company drivers. We're not talking about that part of the business.
No.
We're talking about owner-operators that watch YouTube videos and start thinking they can haul cars with their own truck. And again, I know that sounds harsh, but again, we're just calling it like it is. Because when you get into car hauling, there is no more bullshit. Well, actually, there's a lot of bullshit. It's just that you need truth because it's rough out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Very true.
That is true. Yep.
That's the setup. So, Konstantin, you're the feature guest here today. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about you?
Well, I used to be a car hauler. I did it for a number of years. Actually, let me back it up. Went to school to be a GM tech, and I started there and started buying and selling cars and got my dealer license, so I became a car dealer. And I enjoyed that part, except the retail part of selling to customers. I enjoyed half of it, So
But there's truth in that, right?
yeah,
There we go.
a lot of truth,
Good.
yeah.
All right, good.
So yeah, I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, I moved across the country to Colorado, and I decided to do something different. And I hopped on YouTube myself, and I found car hauling, and I already had the truck and trailer. I moved cars for myself, and I had the car lot. So I kind of knew how to strap cars down and move them around. I already had the LLC set up, and I decided to get the motor carrier authority and go after that. And then I did that for about 4 years. I did open and enclosed car hauling, and after that, I started leasing out semi trucks. So that kind of led me to here to 2025. So I got experience. I was doing Hotshot car hauling, so I had a Ram and I had a 5-car trailer, and then I got experience with semi trucks too, at least owning them. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So you have the experience. You have done the startup, owner operator, open and enclosed. Plus, you have the dealer experience, which I think is that's very unique and incredibly helpful, probably, to understand car hauling from a dealer perspective. Right? Independent dealer. Okay. So now, Sue, anybody who's watched this show, but there's always going to be somebody new. And
Yes.
I'm really hoping somebody who's never heard of ATI sees this. And I understand LinkedIn, I apologize in advance. This show is a train wreck because there's all this hard truth. It keeps hitting you. And when you're on LinkedIn, you're not used to hard truth. It's just all pats on the back and all this it's annoying stuff that's not real. So you're here, you're at ATI, you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, and Sue, you have dispatch and broker experience in logistics.
Correct. I own Murphy Auto Transport. I've been in business for 20-some years. Can you hear me? It looks like it's going in and out.
Yeah, we
again.
can hear you.
Exactly, it's going in and out. So go ahead and remove your video. Internet quality is not a qualification here. Yeah. So, all right, Murphy Auto
Anyways.
Transport. Murphy Auto Transport.
So I started out as dispatching for one truck, and then we kept moving on and on and on. Anyways, then I became a broker as well. So I have both sides of the coin, basically. I dispatch for multiple transportation companies, and then I also broker as well. So I kind of see both sides of this when we talk about when someone is bitching about one thing, I understand both sides of it. Let's just put it that way.
All right. So we got a lot of groups represented here. Konstantin, car haul, dealer. And have you hauled for auctions, Konstantin?
Yeah.
Oh,
To
yeah.
and from
Plenty.
auctions?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Co-parts,
okay, good.
auctions,
So,
all that fun stuff.
In a sense, we've got that covered. Hey, how about repo? Have you hauled repo?
Yep.
All right, great. We got that covered. I focus on news and companies and interviews and panels. So I feel like at this point, I mean, I read automotive news, traditional media daily, and I just see a lot of you like, oh my God, just repetitive, not news. It's really frustrating. But again, we're talking about getting into car hauling. So this was your idea, not my idea. Where did this idea come from? You guys were
Well,
talking?
yeah. So I was
Yes.
talking with Sue on something completely unrelated, and yeah, we just started talking about what car hauling 101, or what new guys need to know getting into the industry.
All right.
Right, Sue?
And then
Yep.
you're right. Sue's
Yeah.
like,
I think
no,
we
I
spent about an
wasn't.
hour doing
I
that.
don't know
Yeah.
anything about it.
Yeah.
Sue said.
I can't tell I can't see your facial expression.
Yeah, exactly. This is going to be So,
You guys know
all right,
I have no idea what I'm doing now.
right. All right. So, we had a meeting, and we're trying to put together a document. And
Right.
one of the things, and hopefully you guys can see this on your screen, one of the things that you pointed out, Konstantin, that I found really helpful is, first, what's your mindset before? Because we do this. Well, where'd you get that idea? After we talk equipment insurance and headaches, wait a minute, where'd you get the idea? So what is going on here? Konstantin, take this away. What's going on?
Yeah, so there's a lot of details when you're starting a business, but I think before all of that, you got to know where you got to do a self audit and figure out where your mindset is at with certain things. Business. Where's your mindset with business? Can you run a business? Can you run yourself? Are you self disciplined? Trucking business in particular, because there's a lot of restraints there, constraints with compliance, and all the stuff that goes along with a trucking business. And then driving, if you're going to be an owner operator, a one man show, you know driving. How are you at driving? How are you with pulling a trailer? How are you with loading cars? How are you with talking to people when you're doing that, when you're talking to dealers? um are you, when you get to a dealership, usually you're going to be talking to the GM, or the sales manager, or GM is the general manager. You're going to be talking to them. So are you a pushover, or are you going to get the car from them that you're supposed to get? Because they're busy, and I consider them sharks. Dealers, they're just sharks. They're out in the water. Like, you can't be a minnow coming up to them. You're on a schedule. You can only drive 11 hours a day. You can only work 14 hours a day, and every minute counts. So when you walk up to a car lot, the salesperson's probably not going to let you in to talk to the GM. And so you got to get past him. So, what's your mindset? How are you with talking with people, running a business, and doing what you need to do to get your job done, which is loading cars and transporting them?
Sue, anything to add?
No, he's right on it, because honestly, and he's seen it as the point of trying to solicit business too, not just you want them to
Mhm.
remember you, but not in a bad way. Okay. So it's all about being nice and doing all that stuff, but you also want them to call you the next time instead of putting it on the load board. Think of it that way too.
True. Yeah, you want to come
Yeah.
off in a good way, a professional, of course. I mean, I'm not saying burn any
Right.
bridges, but you come off professional, and direct.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And you got your shit together, basically. You know
Yeah,
what you're doing.
exactly.
You're there to do business, and you're ready to move on, kind of thing.
Hmm.
I'm also bringing up the live chat here. Please do jump in the live chat. You don't have to. But DDD pointed out, think you guys focus on brokers, dispatchers, drivers. The other major part is maintenance. And so let's do this. That's awesome. Great comment. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And if you missed the show live and you want to comment, you can put it in the YouTube comments below. And I will, listen, if you have something for Brian, a regulations thing, I always tap people on the shoulder. That will be the best person to answer a question.
You want to hear
So-
something crazy, by the way?
Yeah, for sure.
Brian used to be my car hauler back in New York when I had a car lot. He used to-
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I was up in Schenectady, Albany area, and I bought cars in Newburgh, and he was transporting for a company then, bringing cars up from Newburgh, Mannheim. So it's crazy that I saw him on
Huh.
on the show.
Wow. And he is, I mean, he is a regulations guru.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I believe he works with Worldwide Equipment. It would be amazing to know how many pieces of equipment Brian has been in, moved, talked about. He knows a lot. It's incredible. So, anyways, it's good to have that resource. So, all right, car hauling startup, the real breakdown, what it takes to rock and roll. Where do you start?
Well, I think one step before that, I forgot to mention, is just
The fleets?
no, before that, what's your situation at home? You know,
Oh.
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
will dictate your what you make, how much
Well,
money
and
you
how
make.
far you
you
gotta
know?
go and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, are you married? Do you have a family? What kind of, does your wife not care if you're out for a month, or does she need you back every 2 to 3 days or every day?
Yeah.
So that will dictate if you're local or if you're regional or are you over the road, and then it'll
Yep.
dictate how much money you can make, because if you got to be back every 5 days, then you're more regional, so you kind of can go 600 miles out and come back, or do a triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the home life stuff, it's kind of like, well, that doesn't have to do with the job or whatever, which is just a fallacy.
Hmm.
It has everything to do with the job, especially if you're an owner operator or an entrepreneur or neither or both. And in the case of car haul, yeah, you're going to be away from home. Sue, how many times as a dispatcher have you talked to a carrier, you check all the boxes, you go through a couple hours,
Right.
and then they're like, oh, by the way, yeah, my wife needs me home on Wednesday nights and Friday. And you're like, what are you talking? Wait, what?
Yeah.
We just talked for 2 hours.
I know. I usually say, I'm sorry, I don't work
What
like
the-
that. I mean, I totally respect what they want,
Of course.
but I'm here to make money. I'm here to make my driver money. That's really hard to do something like that. I mean, that what I would consider almost local. Like, you need to be going out and meeting those dealerships and doing what you need to do to pick up clients and customers, that kind of thing.
So, this is important. This is before step one. What is your home
Yeah.
life?
Hmm.
Because if
Yeah.
you have, right, if you got 7 kids, 2 and
Yeah,
a
you
half
gotta be home.
wives, you're not going to, this is going to work. Or you're never coming home.
Well, there you go. It might be that. I'll be home every month. That's fine.
All right. There's a newbie laughing out there. Okay. So, equipment.
And there's a vet crying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Equipment. Equipment really is a great place to start.
It is.
Because this will determine what kind of loads you're looking for, etc.
Yes. And
Who
it's your
wants to go
business
first?
model, basically. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, depending on what you're going to be driving and hauling. And honestly, if you're brand new and you really don't know a lot, you probably need to stick with a 3, 4, 5, honestly, because it takes a good year for you to get the hang of this. I mean, and not just get the hang of driving and unloading and reloading. It's also because the brokers have put so many stipulations on signing up with new carriers. It takes 6 months to a year to get established to where you're really getting the better loads too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I think also when I got into it, I think Hotshot was a nice. It has an easy exit strategy. You can
Yeah.
finance a pickup truck, and if it doesn't work
Yeah.
out, if your area sucks, or you don't know what you're doing, whatever the case is, but you need to exit.
Right.
You sell the trailer, you still have a pickup truck. You can go do something else. You can make a business out of that.
True.
Hauling something, whatever. But at least you got a pickup truck. But when you got a semi, then you're kind of
Right.
especially if you got a note on it. You're financing it, then you're kind of in a
Yeah.
pickle.
So your options
Well, yeah,
really
and I mean,
are.
a pickup truck. A truck is 70,000, 80,000, right? You put a big rig, you're talking what, 300,000 plus. So yeah, you're huge difference in money wise, And you're right.
Yeah,
You can get in
I've
and out
always
of
liked,
that a lot easier.
yeah, I've always liked this discussion about trucks because, you can always get a used semi for the price of a new pickup.
Yep.
But then, it
True.
depends what you're getting. You might get a great deal, or you might have to keep sinking money into it. And semi repairs are not cheap,
Right.
not cheap at all. I remember I was
No.
replacing one tire every week for a driver when I was leasing out my semi, and that was, $500 to $800 depending which tire on
Yeah.
the road. So that was like 4 weeks straight that happened. So
Right.
So
you better
And then
have.
same thing if a motor or transmission in that big
So
rig. Yeah, add that
we're
up.
already
Yeah.
talking about maintenance.
Mhm.
DDD, right?
We got there quick.
Yeah.
We didn't even get through point one and we're on maintenance.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
DDD wins a gold
We haven't
bar.
gotten to insurance
Yeah.
yet.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so the takeaway here is always be thinking about maintenance
You better have
and
money.
costs. I was just going to say, and unexpected
Yes.
expenses, and they're not cheap.
hmm
Yes.
Or a high line of credit. I mean,
Well,
if
and
you
you've
don't
got to
have
know
cash,
your bottom line.
yeah.
True. You better get a factoring
So-
company as well, so you
Well,
have
all right,
the
so
constant
we're
flow
getting ahead of
going, too.
ourselves. Equipment. What
Okay,
comes
sorry.
in
Yeah.
equipment? So you have semi versus dually, the age-old debate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then if you get a semi, you're probably doing a 6 or 7 or 9, maybe a 5.
You can do a 5. You can
Yeah,
do a Sun
I've got
Country.
a 5 with a semi. Yeah.
And then if you're doing a dually, most guys I think are going to say, and most newbies, right? If you're new,
Mhm.
you're like, I'm looking at a
Dualies.
truck, a dually, and I'm looking
Yep.
at a,
Yep.
what,
3
3
car
4?
usually.
3 car?
3-car
Yeah,
wedge.
You can do a 3-car
sometimes a
wedge
4.
with flippers.
Yeah.
So that's a 4-car,
Yes.
I mean, ideally, okay, so I met this guy, and we're still friends. I met him on the road. He had a F-350. He took off the bed off of it, and he got the, I think, Buckeye. Buckeye makes a 3-car low pro, and it's super
Mhm.
lightweight.
hmm
And he was doing it non-CDL. And he could make money with it. I mean, he was running
Yep.
the Midwest and the West, but he made money running a low pro 3-car. And it was specifically Buckeye. Now there's other there's like so many different trailer manufacturers out there, but like that was the one
Yeah.
that was lightweight because weight is key when you're doing non-CDL.
Yep.
Ah.
And it's
and there
and
comes
still,
the CDL
just so
word.
everybody knows, even without a CDL, you get pulled over all the time. And it's a regular thing for them to check your weight. And it never fails if you're not totally accurate. And it could be even gas. Gas in those
Mhm.
cars, gas in your truck that puts you over. It's
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
close on that stuff.
I mean,
And it sucks.
so I started non-CDL. Yeah, I started non-CDL, but I started enclosed. I kind of started backwards, which was great. I love doing enclosed. But basically, I think once I got my CDL, and then I got extended fuel tank. So I had like 85 gallons in my Ram. And my friend, he could not get an extended fuel tank because that would put him over. Yeah. And
Yep.
yeah, he had to
that
do a lot more
sucks
math.
to be that close, right?
Yeah.
When you're thinking
Yeah,
about
it is.
how much gas is in your rig,
Mhm.
and that so they can
Or in
send
the rigs you're
because
carrying.
right now
Yeah.
someone's thinking, what are you guys talking about? And so I just want to point out, because this is where it gets really tricky, and this is also part of the headache of getting in. Like, okay, I thought I was just doing this and this and this, but now you're bringing up all this other stuff. So we're bringing up CDL, and here it is, point number 2. Because what's going on with the CDL?
Well,
Ooh.
what's going on with it?
Well, I mean, like, why wouldn't I get a CDL? Or why would I get a CDL? And what's involved?
Well, you would get a CDL just because you can haul more weight, so you don't have to worry about carrying extra fuel, trying to multiply. I think it's 7 pounds per gallon of fuel. So I had a lot of discussions with this friend.
Yeah.
So we're always doing math, trying to help him out. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
What I want to get at is that when you find out everything that's involved with a CDL, the choice usually is, I don't want to get a CDL. Right?
Well, I think it's because they don't want to go to school. They don't want to take the time. They've already gotten into this business. They've already invested their money, and then they realize they need the CDL. And then you have to take off how much time now to take that course to become a CDL. That's what I've had a lot of my drivers decide not to do it. But then they're also avoiding the scales. They're driving at night. They're doing crazy crap they shouldn't be doing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you're adding.
I don't
more
like working with
mileage to the
non-CDL
trip.
drivers. It's just too. It's just too iffy. And then if you're watching the weight of your cars, and I know it's very hard anymore to find lightweight vehicles. I mean, everything's heavier now, especially with your electric cars and stuff. I mean, just right there alone, those are usually 1,000 pounds more than most cars just from the battery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and plus not many people will transport a base model car. I mean, unless it's a really good deal, but most of the stuff I came across they're loaded. They got leather. If it's a truck, it's diesel, but a lot of times it could be half and half. But most of the time they got leather, they got all the features,
So here it is in the live chat. There it is, drugs.
Yep.
It's the Clearinghouse. To me, this is the real dividing line. Listen, we live in a world where people smoke pot. I'm sorry, I said it. But I couldn't say that 10 years ago because 10 years ago pot was the devil. But now it's legal everywhere. It's gummy city. The problem is the federal government doesn't think the same way, and if you have a gummy, you're a pothead and you need to lose your business in your life and everything else. Gosh, Jay. Well, tell me it's not true. So if you have a CDL, now you got to go through the FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse, and you're a hater. But if you do the non-CDL, you don't have to deal with all that stuff. You have other problems.
Huh.
Am I wrong?
Nope.
Sucks to be right. Okay, I know that was kind of harsh, but the CDL thing is a really big thing that isn't talked about. Again, rest of the automotive ecosystem, you guys don't know what a big deal the CDL thing is to the car hauler. Now, company drivers that drive 9 cars, they're probably CDL holders, right?
Yes.
Hope so.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't think you can be, right?
Yeah.
You can't haul 9 cars without a CDL.
No, and if they're a fleet driver, they get checked out from one side to the other before they even put them on there. So.
And that's another, so if you're going to be a company driver, I know if you're a company driver, you're going to watch this and be like, that's ridiculous. You guys don't know what you're talking about. And that's why this show really is for the owner-operator. And that's why we talked about fleets earlier. Okay, so I think most owner-operators that are under 5 cars don't have a CDL. Is that correct?
That are under what?
No,
Under
I would say under 3 cars.
Under
Under
3.
Yeah,
you
really?
can't do it with 5.
I mean,
There's no
even
way.
3,
They don't?
3 will put you over. Yeah, if you got 3 SUVs,
No,
like
see,
good sized SUVs,
if you're
will
5,
put you
you're
over.
way over that 26,001 pound.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know,
'Cause
but
that
don't...
26,001 pound includes your truck and trailer and all the cars.
Mhm.
All right, so what's that number, by the way? What number did you say? 26?
And 1.
26,001 pound.
There you go. Now, if you're hauling 5 cars, you got an F-350 dually, and you're hauling 5 cars, so you're physically able, not legally, not sure if you're morally able, but you're physically able, right? We're just calling it like it is.
Well,
There's still a lot of 5-car non-CDL midnight drivers, aren't there?
really?
Are there?
I mean, I don't know.
I
I don't check their CDLs, but
I don't know either. I've never had anybody
I mean, I'm sure there's
ask
a
me
lot
about a
of
5 car.
illegal stuff going on. I'm sure, but that probably won't be the best way to do illegal things. There's other ways that
This is car hauling.
but that's not the best way.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So good. So at least we covered it. So you got to figure out what equipment you're into. 3 car, 4 car. I also want to say this. It seems like a lot of guys that get a 3 car start talking about a 4 car within a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that you
4 or
will
5,
need a
yeah.
CDL for that. Yeah. And I mean, I think the guy, if you're going if you're crossing state lines, that's when things get more strict. I mean, if you're doing local stuff, there's
Yeah.
not many way
Yes.
stations. I mean, I don't remember any way stations being in any city really, unless it's a makeshift way station they put up real quick. But all the way stations I know are definitely um on
Borders. Yeah.
the borders basically, yeah, or
Yeah.
exiting the cities,
Yeah.
So if you're staying in the city and all that, like you can, I'm sure there's guys that, I mean, there's plenty of guys that run illegal and, stuff like that. So, but we're
Yeah.
talking about doing the right thing. How do you do the right thing
I know.
and make money, because you can only do illegal stuff so long before you're done.
And
True. Yeah.
and this actually is the sore point. It feels like I believe in car hauling, there are folks that feel like other folks can get away with all kinds of illegal stuff, and it creates a lot of animosity in the industry.
Yeah,
Am I
but
wrong?
that could be for anything.
Yeah.
And those people getting away with
Yeah.
stuff,
Agree.
they get away with stuff for however long, and then the next guy pops up and gets away with that same stuff. So it looks like everybody's getting away with it, but
Somebody eventually
one
gets
guy,
caught.
yeah, somebody gets caught, new guy pops up. So I would say just take if you
It's
think,
really well said.
yeah, if there's like 100% of car haulers, like just in your mind, put away, a certain percentage.
There you go.
Are illegal. No matter what, they're just illegal. I mean, just like in any business, any industry, there's going to be illegal stuff. So don't
Wow.
pay attention to them.
That's a fascinating philosophy, and it might even work. So, insurance. Let's go to point number 3. Insurance. What is going? Because this is
Yes.
really where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah. And this is just their cargo and liability. They also have to have insurance to, for their trailer and truck too. So that doesn't even include that. And this is also based on your credit now. It's not just if you've been driving, they do a credit check too.
Yeah.
So that rate can go up. I mean, I've had drivers pay 40 grand a year. There are only 3-car drivers and they had 100,000, but they were newbies. They had horrible credit.
I would say at
I
that
think the
point,
average is now 20 to 30.
I would say at that point,
It
maybe
makes-
work for somebody, get your credit down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to own your own business, own your own trucks, own your own whatever in car hauling, you need to come in with cash or credit. A lot like a line of credit, so you can pay off your maintenance expenses if you don't have the cash. And before you pay for anything on credit, make sure you get your insurance first, because then that's when your credit's highest. So you can get your rate locked in.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, are you?
And that's just for the first year.
Yeah. Are you
That
hauling?
can change.
Are you hauling with your own truck, or did you have to get a truck?
Oh,
Can you-
I hold with my own truck. Yeah.
So you did. You already have the truck.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I already had an LLC. I'll tell somebody I'll tell you guys a hack too. So first, if you already own an LLC or you're thinking about doing this, you can get an LLC and kind of have it mature for the next 2 years. In general, with business, a lot of banks, credit, whatever, they don't want to deal with businesses younger than 2 years. So if you're thinking about it, just go pay $300 for an LLC, get it done, and hold on to it, because after it matures, it helps you with different things. So for me, I already had a car lot. I had a car business, car dealer. So I already had an LLC. It was matured. I already had insurance companies I dealt with, and I had the truck and I bought a trailer to move across country, and I bought an enclosed trailer to move my stuff. So I had it was a 99 Ford 7.3. By the way, this is a great discussion about trucks. Do you buy an older one? You buy a new one, as far as pickups go. And I started out with a Ford 7.3. Everybody loved the 7.3. Even Dodge guys like the 7.3 Ford. Chevy guys love the 7.3. So anyway, everybody's like, yeah, it's the best motor made, blah, 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 right? It was the trade-in I had. It was leftover truck I had. So I said, okay, cool. I'll just keep it. And I came across the Hotshot thing, so I started doing Hotshot car hauling. And that truck broke down every 3 weeks. It only had 150,000 miles on it, but it broke down every 3 weeks, and for a week it was in the shop. So I was paying money to
Mm-hmm.
get it fixed. And I'm talking about like basic stuff that's like you have an oil leak or something like that. But you can't have an oil leak because of DOT. So you got to fix the oil leak on the engine. Next week, or next 3 weeks after that, it's the oil leak on like a wheel bearing or something. And parking brakes. It was a New York truck, so it was rusty. So I had to fix the parking brakes on it, and all that stuff needs to work for DOT. And I found out, what the heck? I'm working 3 weeks out of the 4.3 weeks in a month, and I I'm fixing the truck, paying 500 to $1,000 every time it's in the shop, and on top of that, I'm not making money that week, so it's like a double whammy. I'm like, what the heck?
Yep.
I'll pay $1,100 a month for a new truck. Who cares? And that was a great decision, fantastic decision. Like the truck was great. Of course, new trucks have their own problems. Of course, they got recalls, whatever new emission stuff, and so anyway, but it was still a better decision than running the old truck.
I
I
agree.
thought that was really good information. I've heard that I've heard that debate before, and I think you stated it pretty well because it is somebody's looking at it right now. Do I buy an old used truck that I think will work? Do I go
Nope.
into something new?
You want to be reliable with
Yeah,
business.
don't do it.
Business, I learned you gotta have
That's right.
you gotta have reliable equipment. It's a tool. You can go be a mechanic and buy Harbor Freight tools, and I love Harbor Freight. It's fantastic. But when
I've actually never been to Harbor Freight.
are you serious?
Huh.
Never
Do you
been.
have a Harbor
Yeah, it's
Freight
cool.
around you?
We actually have one nearby.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. So
Yeah. Just tools on
Yeah.
tools.
tools
Yeah.
on tools.
No,
like
just
that.
not just tools either though. But anyways,
Really?
yeah.
So
Good to know.
yeah,
I even
mean, you
shop
can
there.
have. Oh, really? You can go to Harbor Freight. You can get tools, but if you're going to be a mechanic, a reputable mechanic and all that, you got to use something else besides 100% Harbor Freight. You got to use Snap-on. You got to use Matco, whatever. You
Snap-on.
need some of the quality stuff.
Yeah.
A screwdriver is a screwdriver, but there's other
But
things that you need that are
Here's what you made me think of.
quality.
When you have to cancel a load because you broke down, what's that like?
It's not fun.
Ugh. No.
It's not fun. I mean, yeah, Sue, you probably know you've probably
Yeah,
dealt
Sue,
with
what
a
do
lot
you
of
think?
drivers.
It's horrible. I hate it. I always have to call, and they always think you're lying. I mean, don't get me wrong, we do lie about whether we're broke down or not to cancel or to extend times. But most of the time, if we call, we're really broke down, and they never believe you because everybody always calls to cancel or calls to tell you that they broke down, and it just sucks, and it puts everything behind too.
hmm Yeah, and by the way, breaking down on the road is horrible. You don't have your hometown mechanic. He's not
Yeah.
with you. You got to find a shop, and then once you find the shop, who knows if they're honest? And on top of that,
Yeah.
they're going to charge you, 150% of what it usually should cost. It's not cheap. So make sure your stuff is in order before you leave the house.
I think that was a really good discussion, not too lengthy, but on a very important point. And that's what we're trying to do here. Is we're trying to keep it moving, but cover things that matter. I also think that when you talked about business maturity, it's an interesting phenomenon you find out about. Because you think, well, I'm ready to start. I'm going to start pulling triggers, buying trucks, getting insurance, building my business. But that's not exactly how perception works. So when you get a DOT number or an MC number, maybe you were a company driver somewhere for a decade, but if you set up a new number, most people think you're brand new.
Yep.
That's right.
Don't wait till the last
Yeah.
minute. So, but what is that process? Let's just talk about DOT MC number for a minute. What's involved?
Well, before you can get an MC, let me back up. DOT, you can get a DOT as long as you have a business. So you should get a DOT if you're using your truck for anything business related. So if you're hauling something for your own business, whatever your business might be, technically you need a DOT on your truck. I found out that hard way, but the cop was lenient on me. I picked up a car from the auction, and I get pulled over, and the guy's like, "You got no numbers. You have nothing. You have absolutely nothing." I mean, because I was using my own personal truck for business related work. Thank God he let me off. But after that, I had to get a DOT number, put the truck in my business name. Um, and by the way, if you actually own your truck, you can lease it to your business. So there's different ways to do it. I mean, if you already finance your truck in your personal name, you don't want to try to refinance it in a business name because that might not work at all with a new business. So you can actually just lease your truck to your business in that sense. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you, because credit, finance, lease on, that also is another area we can get into. But I also want to mention, you've now said cop or weigh station a couple times. What's going on with what's expected? Your non-CDL 3-car. What's expected of you with regards to the DOT and the FMCSA?
Okay, so yeah, you need your DOT number. You need to have a motor carrier authority, your MC number. So that kind of you can get your DOT number first, then you need your MC number. But before you do your MC, you need commercial hauling insurance. You need $1 million worth of coverage for automotive, versus I think 750,000 for freight. If they haven't increased it, I think that's the normal. So you need liability
you
of
want
$1 million.
though.
Yeah, you want Either way, you just need $1 million liability, and you need cargo insurance because most places that book cars, you can book cars through, they require cargo insurance for the actual cars on your trailer. Yeah. So DOT business first, DOT number, then insurance for with $1 million liability. Then you apply for your MC number, and yeah, I would say, Sue, does it take about a month, I think, to get your MC number? I think that's what it took me, but that was like
It takes,
a long time
they
ago.
say 21 days.
Yeah, so
is what they say.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's 21 days, but it takes more like 30. And here's the thing: most people don't even understand. You have to have that paperwork in your hand before you even get in your truck and start driving. They think just because they've given you that number that they can go out. You cannot.
Yeah, and then I see the live
lost.
chat. On top of all that, no, we got
Can you hear?
Oh, God.
Yeah. On top of all that, you got to do all the compliance that's required with FMCSA. So you got to do your UCR, BOC. If you're, what is it? If you're non-CDL, you don't have to do IFTA. Yeah, if you cross state line, no. I'm pretty sure IFTA you don't have to do if you cross.
But I'm
I
glad
think if
you
you're
said
over 26,000.
It's just where you're right. You're like, do I travel? You probably travel interstate, not intrastate.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
yeah.
by the way,
yeah.
the weight is the DOT FMCSA as well, right? So I just. This is where it gets really ugly quickly, and I think a lot of newbies are like, what is all this stuff you guys are talking about? Right?
Right.
These are,
yeah.
IFTA is IFTA is another sticker and a payment. And
IFTA, IFTA is
keep
not
track
that
of your
bad.
fuel.
Fuel, that's right. IFTA's fuel.
Yeah. It's fuel tax, and people freak out about IFTA, but you can file it yourself.
Especially if you do. Well, and nowadays on your ELD, they keep track of it for you. So you can, it's a whole lot easier than it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, and then you can file it yourself. And honestly, there's times where you can make money off IFTA when you're going to certain states, because they kind of pre-tax the fuel or whatever, and then you can get money back. So it's don't be conned by some of these IFTA companies that charge you money to file IFTA, because they're probably making that money from what taking your money. So just file it yourself, learn how to do it. It's not that hard. You just keep track of each state, the tax you owe to each state. But like Sue said, a lot of these ELD companies, do it for you because your ELD is plugged into your truck and it tracks your mileage in every state you go.
Perfect segue. Gosh, you'd think we rehearsed this. You've got ELD is number 5.
Oh, look at that. Cool. Yep.
So what's an ELD? Why is an ELD? I don't know. Do people just assume ELD is a... I mean, I don't know. What do people know about ELD right now? A newbie getting in 2025, which is when we're making this video. What do you think they know about ELD? Is it just standard? Like, what do you mean we didn't used to have TikTok?
I think it's standard anymore.
Yeah, I believe it's standard now. Yeah, you
I
have to
personally
use...
think it's standard, but it didn't used to be. But
Yeah, I think I think if you have an
one
older
time
truck
getting
before
pulled over and
2000...
them asking you where it's at is all it takes.
Yeah.
Right, and an ELD is a
Electronic
device,
logging device, yeah.
electronic logging device connects to your... How does it plug into your truck now?
Usually through OBD2, unless you got
OBD under the dash.
yeah,
Yes.
unless you got a semi, it's a round plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plugs in, and it's connected to basically your truck computer.
Right. Yep. Tracks the
So,
mileage. It's the GPS, so you can
GPS.
tracks where you're going. Yeah.
Right, and then also now you use... I don't use an ELD because I don't drive a truck. That's apparently pretty clear. But I'm assuming you make choices in your ELD, like I'm going to take my break now, I'm going to sleep now, and it calculates your... Right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calculates your time you're on the road, time you're
Pre-trip
taking breaks,
inspection.
all that stuff. Yeah, it has a pre-trip
Yep.
trip
Whole
inspection
thing.
feature. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, that's good. So, we're doing pretty good here. Man, we're at 10-1. We talked about Drug and Alcohol Consortium for a second. Again, that's for CDL drivers. If you're non-CDL, you get to skip it, which is pretty much one of the reasons why you'll go non-CDL. Really, you don't want to deal with the government and drug. I mean, I'm going to touch upon it again because I think this is such a fascinating topic. Because in another 10 years, pot will be illegal again, and then in 20 years, alcohol will be illegal again, and we'll go back and forth because laws are like that. The thing is that if the federal government is monitoring your drug and alcohol intake, it's not going to be awesome. Right? Does anybody want to have a FMCSA drug and alcohol consortium on their personal lives? Anybody? No. That's going to be a no. Nobody wants that. But because you're driving an 80,000-pound truck, which will soon be autonomous, then they want to make sure you're not on any substances. And what's great is that pot stays in your system for weeks or years or whatever. So we're not even sure what they're measuring, but they're positive that it matters. So if you are non-CDL, you don't have to deal with that. And it's a big draw. So let's go to the next item. Oh, medical examiner's card. Crap, I thought we were out of the woods on this thing. What's a medical examiner's card?
So that, I think, do you need that if you're non-CDL? I don't remember if you do. Sue, do you remember
still
that?
have to have it, but don't quote that
Do
on
you
me.
need to?
I
might-
thought you
yeah,
did,
I mean,
but
it's not
a
that
CDL
complicated.
thing?
Basically, some truck stops have it. You just get a simple exam, and they give you a card for 2 years, and you just do it again every 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
They
So
just
that
make sure you
one's-
can see and hear. Yeah.
But weight comes
Which
into
is
play
important.
Having
with
seizures.
a lot of, right? There's a lot of truckers that have, they're carrying an extra load.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Know your rig. Hotshot versus big rig. Okay. So I feel like we did cover some of this stuff.
Yeah.
We talked about, but do you want to add anything here on knowing your rig? I mean, there's a lot to know.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that, big rig and pickup could come out to about the same price. It really matters, like, the year, how old it is. If you have a big rig and you pay 200 grand for it, then you run it for, you do 100,000 miles a year, you're going to have no problems for the first 3 years. You're not going to have to do anything to it, really. If you run a Hotshot for 100,000 miles for the 3 years, you might as well throw it away after,
Yeah.
halfway
Well,
through this third year.
every guy that I have that has like an F350, F450, F550, usually after the first year, it's either a transmission, it's a motor, it's something big.
Hmm.
It never fails. It's always the DEF. I can always tell you that. That always comes into play almost immediately.
Yeah,
But
there's ways around that.
and they usually spend 70 to $100,000 on those trucks. So think of it that way. They're either trying to trade it in, you don't get anything for them, you're rebuying them again. I mean, it's just a regular cycle. I would tell you every 2 years they're buying a new truck with that kind of situation.
Yeah, I've had my truck. So you want to buy the right truck too, because
Yeah.
when I got into it, it was 2019. At the end of 2019, the new dualies came out. The new Ram dualies came out. And what sold me on the Ram, by the way, because I had my first diesel pickup was a Chevy Duramax. Then I got the Ford 7.3 that everybody said was amazing. Then the third one I had was the dually, and this is over the course of my life. The only one I actually really used was the 7.3 for like a couple months for Hotshot, and then the dually Ram. What sold me on the Ram, after doing tons of research on YouTube, is that the Ram is the same style of motor that's in all the semi trucks. All the semi trucks use straight six motors. That's what the Ram has, the straight six Cummins motor. The Ford has a V8, the Chevy has a V8, and I was sold on the Ram. It was easier to work on and all that. So my Ram, it's at 199,000 miles. I basically put it out to pasture a couple years ago. I still have it, but I put it out to pasture when I stopped hauling a couple years ago when I hit 199,000 miles. And that truck, it was great. But I did get the proper packages. I got the tow package, which I don't remember if it included, but I got the 410 gears. So, and I was hauling over the Rockies too, so I wasn't playing games. Like Colorado. Like I went to every ski town there is in Colorado hauling cars. So I've been to done all the passes in the winter and the summer. So I made sure to get the one with 410 gears. I got the high output motor, and the high output came with the Aisin transmission. Very important. A lot of guys complain about the Rams because they get the non-high output motor, they get the 68 RFE or whatever, the basic transmission, and they have their gears are like 356 or whatever. Like it's not the combination you want for hauling. Like if you're gonna haul stuff, go into it doing the right thing. Don't cheap out. Get the right equipment from the start. And my truck's been great. I mean, I had emissions issues probably around like 60,000 miles, basically right when the emissions warranty expires. And by the way, the emissions warranty is separate from the regular 100,000 mile warranty. So I had issues around that time, which I fixed on my own dime. And then I had some, the Rams are known for exhaust manifold shrinking. So they actually heat up and cool down, heat up, cool down. So I've replaced 3 exhaust manifolds in 200,000 miles, but I was hauling 5 cars behind my 3500. I didn't have a 55, I didn't have a 45. I had a 3500 high output with a 5-car motor, or 5-car trailer, which weighed like 13,000 pounds alone. So I think my registered weight I put as like 44,000. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, something like that, 44,000. So the most I hauled behind my truck was 34,000. So five vehicles plus the trailer grossed at 34,000. Plus the truck is about 7,000, 7,500 plus the fuel and all that. So yeah, I was at like 42,000 with my 3,500, and it did great. And like I said, I did some emission stuff at 60,000 miles, and 3 exhaust manifolds in its lifetime. Other than that, everything's worked awesome on it. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Sue, I've heard you say before about the looking for a new truck every 2 years. I'm just curious, is that kind of a guideline that people agree on? 2 years, Konstantin, 2.5 years, 3 years? How do you look at that?
So
Because I've heard 2 years before too from
so
other
I
drivers.
I just told you my Hotshot experience owning the Ram. Now for the last 3 years, I've owned four Freightliners, all like 2021 and up. And if you're going to be doing a lot of miles and you're going to be in it for the long haul, like the semi is the way to go. I mean, you need a CDL, of course, for that. You know, yeah, I can hear you, Sue.
Okay, I don't know if you heard anything what I said.
No.
Nah, you're breaking out a lot, but try again.
Okay, well, what I said was yes, it's been about a year and a half to every 2 years that they are, breaking down enough to where they're broke down. So it's time to change out your truck then.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's if you're running and gunning, and this gets it back into the the marriage proposals and the whatnot, right? You're
Right.
single, you're solo, you're running and gunning all day, every day that you can, 2 years, and
Yeah.
you're talking on a dually, on an
Right.
F350,
Yeah.
F550,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
otherwise, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to matter if it's at a 450, 550, it still doesn't last
And it,
any
and
longer than that.
so why? Let's talk about why is that? Is it
Well-
what's going on?
Okay. So here's a tip for everybody. Here's a hack. Go research B20 Life. And Rams have a B20 Life, as far as I remember, at least for the 2019, 2020 models, of like 250,000 miles. Freightliners, for example, like a Cascadia, right? They have a B20 Life of 1 million miles. What does that mean? B20 means it's the time, it's the amount of mileage a vehicle can get up to, where about 20% of them, what is it like? I think 20%. Man, it's been so long. It's 20% of them don't have major repairs past that point, or 20% of them need major repairs at that point. So a Ram, all Ram, just talking about like all the 3500s, all 3500s have a B20 Life of 250,000 miles. So 20% of them, 1/5 of them, are going to need major repairs at 250,000 miles, and we're not talking about ones that haul 34,000 pounds. We're talking about things that ones that don't haul that too. So be prepared for that. Compare that to a Freightliner or other semi trucks too. They have a B20 Life of 1 million miles. That's the big difference. So that's why Sue was saying, be prepared to exchange your truck at 200,000 miles if you're running Hotshot. And like I said, Hotshot, this whole business is very versatile. You can do all different types of things. You can skin a cat 10 different ways.
Yep.
So if everything is good at your home life, you're established, you're not moving anywhere, whatever, you're not coming home for a month. Sure, go semi with a 7 car or a Sun Country 5 car. That's great. But if your life is very flexible and things are changing a lot and all that, then maybe a dually would be better, because we're talking about this whole business as a whole. It's life, and you're working a lot during your life, so you got to figure out what works with everything.
Hey, I remember early on, I heard hot shot car hauling, and I thought, okay, so you're a hot shot. What is a hot shot? What does that mean, hot shot car hauling?
Stu, you there? Well, I'll
Can you
go
hear me?
ahead. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
So
So I think she's just got a delay. I think
Okay.
she's got a delay and the dropping of the bits. But go ahead.
Got it. So I think Hotshot came from the oil industry, where they needed parts right away, and semi trucks couldn't get them, or they couldn't go off road. That's another advantage, actually, to pick up to Hotshots, to pick up trucks. The 4-wheel drive works 20 times better than a semi truck. I mean, semi trucks don't have 4-wheel drive. They can lock up their second axle in the rear, but a a pickup can go a lot more places than a semi truck can. So I think that's basically where the Hotshot thing came from, because the oil industry needed some part right away out there in the field, and they called a Hotshot to just go deliver it.
Awesome. There you go. So Hotshot is that final mile, in and out, load, unload. The only thing more Hotshot than a Hotshot would be a flatbed.
Well, like a flatbed. Well, I think they were flatbeds.
They were flatbed. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
look at that. You got Jay. You caught me. Okay. All right. All right, let's go to the next item. I think we're doing really good here, because now we you know what? We haven't even talked about car hauling. What is this? We haven't even talked about hauling cars.
Yeah, let's get to that.
Yeah. So, but it's all this other crap that really is going to make your life, well, don't speak too soon, because we haven't even talked about brokers. But you've got
everything else.
What's a bill of lading and what's an inspection, and how do you load cars? Let's talk about that. Who wants to?
Go ahead, Konstantin. I keep cutting out anyway, so.
Okay. Yeah, so BOL is pretty standard in the hauling anything business, really. BOL basically gives you temporary ownership of the item from the pickup to the delivery. So in this sense, with cars, BOL has information of who the shipper is, the pickup destination, the delivery destination, and what you're hauling, because that is the paper that the enforcement, DOT, police, whatever, need to see when they stop you or when they're checking you at a weigh station, making sure you're not stealing anything, making sure you have, where you're going and all that stuff. It all makes sense. Yeah, and then the inspection is that's not really. I mean, there is an inspection on the BOL sometimes, but that has to do more with between you and the shipper. So when you pick up a vehicle, you do the inspection, and when you deliver a vehicle, you do the well, you don't do an inspection at the end, but basically the shipper or the receiver signs off on it, saying that it's all good and it's not damaged. And with our awesome auto hauler industry, we have plenty of eBOLs and apps that basically make that easier for you, where you can just take pictures of everything and then tap the different damages on the picture and show that what's damaged, what's scratched, all that.
You'd think, Sue, I'm just going to say it, you'd think that a company that focuses on technology to help carriers get loaded, stay loaded, and make money would talk more about car hauling business 101. Wouldn't you? Does anybody even ever ask that question?
Well, yeah.
I mean, Sue, what? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. That's true.
And but it always seems like I'm trying to make a dig. I'm just trying to point out things that to me either do make sense or don't make sense. Most things to me don't make sense. But it's fine. Whatever. Jay, it's not about you. It's about car hauling. All right, know your numbers. What does that mean? We're just going to skip money, money, money. All right, know your numbers, money, money, money. What are we talking about?
You need to know what you've got invested in this and what you need to make per day and what you need to put back every day or every week for your maintenance and stuff like that. If you don't know those numbers, you're never going to make this.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. How do you do that? How do you know your numbers? Are there programs, or how do you know your numbers? What do you need to do?
Well, you need to know what the cost of your insurance is. You need to average what your maintenance should be, like your tires, your oil changes, and not just on your truck, on your trailer as well. Because you have to keep track of those wheel bearings. Those are the number one things that go out on your trailers, other than normal wear and tear, that kind of thing. I don't know if there's a program.
I was
would
just going to
think
say,
that
so
there's a certain amount, you know what I mean?
do the tech companies and the bill of lading mobile apps also help you manage your numbers for your business? Do they do that?
I've not seen that. No,
It's weird.
but I
No.
mean, I'm sure there's something out there
Really?
now where there wasn't before. You
There's
know,
got to be a Know Your Numbers app.
it's not on SD.
Maybe
let's
in
put it that way.
general. I mean, yeah, none of the.
What about
none of the
brokers?
apps
They're
have
the
it.
ones. What don't brokers have technology to help you keep track of your money?
Not your money. No,
No.
they keep track of their money.
I was going to
Yeah.
say they're keeping
I'm
track
sure.
of their money, right?
Yeah.
All right,
sir.
what are we talking about, guys? Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and deliver the really good news. In car hauling, you're going to be working for who do you work for?
Oh, for yourself.
Okay. How does yourself keep your car hauler loaded?
Yeah, you'll be working for dealers. I mean, all types of strippers: dealers, auctions, brokers.
Ah. Who are
Yeah.
you really getting loads from? Dealers, auctions, shippers, or brokers? Come on, live chat. Who are you really working for? And I'm just saying it like this because, you know, we just got to know. Who are we really working for? Are you working for dealers, auctions, shippers, or brokers? And then we'll talk more about that.
Yeah. While we wait for that, let's see what the live
Nobody's
chat
gonna
says.
say nothing.
Uh,
I mean, now,
I
listen,
do-
when you were... Yeah,
Uh-huh.
take it away.
I was gonna say I do have a hack that could help a lot of people. When I was hauling, so I had a 5-car, right? So I mean, 3-car, 4-car, 7-car, 9-car, it's all different. But with a 5-car, basically my goal, for the day, was to make sure I made the goal was $1,500 a day, and you know if the break even was definitely less than that, but the goal was 1,500. So, and that covered everything: fuel, expenses, maintenance. So if I'm making $1,500 a day gross, I'm good. That's I'm not going broke, and I'm making some money there. So it was nice to have that goal, because then I can price out. If I pick 5 cars at $300 each, and I could pick them and drop them in the same day, there we go. It's $1,500. And I had a low pro 5-car hauler, which was very versatile. It wasn't a Sun Country; it was an Infinity, which I think is in ways better than a Sun Country, just because you could do different things. You don't pay the FET tax on a Infinity versus a Sun Country, so it's cheaper. That plays a big role. But with the 5-car, you can haul, like I did 3 full-size Ram trucks on the back, or you can do 5 cars. So I did 2 Amazon, what are they called? The big giant box vans. By the way, I booked. This is one of the things that was interesting. I booked them. They said, "Oh, Ford Transit, cool. Ford Transit. They're not big. 2 of them, paying great." I booked them, went there, and it was 2 Amazon, like giant, tall box trucks. They didn't go far, but it worked out. So yeah. So as long as you're figuring out, if I do 2 cars. If I could pick and drop 2 cars in one day, and it pays $750 each, that's fantastic. Done, $1,500. If I can do 5 cars at $300 each, and I can pick and drop them all in one day, great. And that's really only possible when it's like one pick, one drop, or you're not picking 5 in 5 different locations and then dropping in 5 different locations, unless it's short distance. So.
Okay.
But I suggest everybody has a gross number they want to hit every day, based on their truck and trailer configuration.
So I agree with what you said. I like the numbers. Now I'm gonna do it again. Where did these cars come from?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get loaded and get money?
It was a mix. I mean, it was a mix of brokers, dealers. There's a lot of dealer trades going on. Copart. I loved Copart. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Copart, but I made that reservation ahead of time, I got there, they forked it on my trailer and forked it off when I delivered it. It was, I mean, a lot of times they fork it off. Sometimes you got to roll it off, but you know, having a winch actually is awesome. If you put a winch on a trailer, then you can do a lot of things.
Right, which I actually, as a dispatcher, I'm saying you need to get a winch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which is different from a wench. So anyways, okay. But how did you get the cars? Again, I'm because I don't think that the YouTube get rich guys talk about this enough. Where did you get? Do you just call?
Load boards?
Where do you? Okay, so tell me more about that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Central's they got the monopoly in the game. You got Central, you got Super, and you have the rest of them. The individual ones like Assertus, they have their own load board. It's usually just their cars. As far as I know, it's just their cars that they broker out, just because they have so many cars they broker. But the rest are just a mix. Like, so Super and Central, they have just a mix of everybody. Dealers, auctions, brokers, everybody posts on there. Yeah, and then
I always dreamed of turning my passion.
basically Central. If you're starting out, you want Central. You want the account with Central and Super, I think. But Central is number one. And Sue can definitely tell you more about that. That's for sure. She's active in it right now.
So here we look at ATI, by the way, and we go to the under any ATI Thursday show is some exciting information and then a list of your top 20 load boards.
There we go. Yeah.
Check
that out.
With links and more. So, Central, Super, load boards where you can get loads. All right, yes.
Probably what I consider the number one.
Sue, your internet is going crazy today. It's too bad, but it happens. So we'll have to figure out how to get around that.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, you're kind of just breaking up a lot. Yeah, in fact, I think you might have she just left. Yeah, she'll be back. But anyways, okay, so these are load boards. These are load boards where you can, and anybody in car hauling, if you've been here a few weeks, we lost it. That's fine. All right. So let me do this. Load boards are places, websites you can go to. You get signed up and pay, which is another problem. And the number one and number two load board are now, nobody even knows what's really happening. There's a lawsuit. Does it matter? We don't even know if it matters. But here's what we do know, is that these are where most car haulers find their loads. Because other than the load boards, how do you find cars to transport? Now, some would say, go into the dealership. Say, hey, I haul cars. Konstantin, have you done that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Has it worked?
It worked in a sense, but I was after the money, and I felt like a lot of the dealers were a little too cheap. So I liked cherry picking the loads off the load board because I thought there was more opportunity there than hauling for a local dealer. But I mean, I think it depends on the area. It depends on the dealers. Just in my area at my time, it didn't seem worth it for me to try to get a handful of dealers and haul for them. So I just, acted like a mercenary. Just killed these contracts, got these contracts off the load board, and I got pretty good at negotiating with them. For example, I was going through, I'm based in Colorado, so I was headed to Kansas City. Where you're at Kansas City, right? You're in Kansas City, I think, Jay.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So, all right. So I was going there, and I remember there was a load in Wichita, and it was a dealer trade, and basically it had to go to Colorado, and I saw it on the load board for a while. So, Wichita's like what? How far off of I-70 is it? 4 hours, 3 hours? I can't remember.
Mm,
It's a, I mean,
Wichita off I-73,
3 hours.
2.5.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I didn't. I think I maybe booked one car already headed back from Kansas City, but I didn't really have an exact. I didn't need to go. I didn't need to take a straight shot back from Kansas City. So I saw it on the load board, and I texted him. I texted the dealer, and I said, "Hey, you know, um, let me know if this works for you. I am off the route, but I seen your car on the load board, and it's been on there for a while, and I'll give you this offer where I can do it for double what you're asking, but because I have to go out off route, so if you need to
What did he
move
say?
soon."
What did he say?
It was actually a salesperson. He's like, "Let me talk to my GM." So he talked to the GM, and he's like, "Can you do less?" I said, "No." Like, this is 3 hours out of my way plus 3 hours back onto the highway. And if you need it moved, it's up to you. It's completely on you. If you need it moved, and also this is when I used to be a dealer, I kind of knew what to say. So I'm like, you know what? If you need it moved, just work it into your next deal. Work the price into your next deal. So he said, "All
That's
right,
right.
we'll do it." So I said, "Cool. There we
Your
go."
inner independent dealer was kicking in. Because
Yeah,
this is an important moment. I want to say this. One of the problems as a car hauler, you're so focused on the equipment and etc. that the negotiation, that's what the dealer is focused on all day and night. You don't stand a chance negotiating somebody's going to be mad that I said that. But it's true. This is why dealers pay as cheap as they can. I know dealers make the world go round, and thank God for car dealers. Oh God, what would we do without car dealers? But when you're negotiating a load, they want to pay you as little as possible, regardless of what your cost is. They don't care. Which is understandable. This is capitalism. This is how it works, people. Mm-hmm. Wake up.
Yeah, it is capitalism,
It's
but
capitalism.
You also, you got to realize, you got to figure out how you can serve them, because in their position, I could tell just by seeing the load board that car's been on there for a while. It's leaving a dealership, headed out somewhere to Colorado, and I take it back. It wasn't a dealer trade. It was actually, they sold it to somebody, and I could just tell that the price kept increasing and increasing every day, and it's been on there for like 4 to 5 days, which is quite a long time for a dealership, and it kept increasing. And I'm like, all right, they need to get this car moved. So when you see that, you can just reach out to them, and you can just offer them, like, hey, if you need this car moved, I can move it for you. It's not in my route. It's not, I don't have to do it, but if it helps you, I can deliver this car. And they said, yeah. So, funny story. 2 weeks later, they had another car going to Colorado. And I said, hey, you remember me? I moved your other car. They said, yeah, we remember you. I said, I can also move this car. They said, for how much? I said, the same price as the last one.
How did that go?
They said, well, can you do it for less? I said, no. And they accepted it. So it works.
Wow.
It's
That's
not, it wasn't
cool
just
story.
a one-time thing. Yeah. So if you can negotiate with, dealers, and it's not really that much negotiation, just, it doesn't hurt to ask. Just ask them,
It's savvy. It's not length, but it's savvy. You got to be very savvy.
Mm-hmm.
Sue, as a dispatcher,
Yes.
this is one of the things we have to do well.
Yes,
Is
you do.
quick, real negotiate, like a poker table. I'm either in, I'm out, screw you, I got this.
Well, and here's the thing too. Dealerships are easier to negotiate with anybody else out there because they want to get this car to whoever, whatever. The other people that list cars on there, we won't say what kind of people they are, but you know what I'm saying. They do not negotiate. They think their price is high enough. That's all they're going to do. It doesn't matter if they sit there and pay storage fees on that car for a week. They will not come up on the price.
Yeah, it sounds like those people you might be talking about are usually the middlemen, right? I think with the source, the people that actually where the car comes
Well,
from are easier to deal with, to negotiate
I've even
with.
had them own the car. It was going to them. And that's when
Shipper.
I'm training like a dispatcher. I tell them to look to see where this car is going. If it looks like it's going to that person, I will tell them then you've got negotiating room because it's going to them. That sometimes works, it sometimes does not. But you can look and see, if you see that your dealership or even if it's a broker, because sometimes they're brokers / and they're coming to them and they're out of Indianapolis and that car's going to Indianapolis in the same zip code, it's going to them. And if it's at Copart and IA, you usually should have negotiation room in there because they're going to pay storage fees eventually on that car.
Yeah, true.
Well, DDD just said it. Broker. I mean, it's okay to say broker. Actually, I don't think you can get sued for saying broker because it's not the name of a company.
No.
Okay? So, brokers set the price even though that isn't, I don't know. There's some moral sentence fragment after that, but I don't have it.
Well, a lot of the problems with setting prices too is they look at the load board and they see what's gone on. They base it off of that, whether it's right or wrong, and they just roll with it. And because we have multiple transporters there that will just willingly take crap, that price stays the same and it stays low for a reason.
That's
So
true.
this is important because getting back to knowing your numbers, what you have to do is you will have to lower your standards to make a number that makes sense, and now you're not making the money that you originally talked about in the very beginning when you were talking to your wife or significant other about all the time you're away from home and the money you plan to be making. Because it's not about what you plan on making, it's what you can get out of each shipper, dealer, broker. It is a non-stop negotiation. Non-stop. And
and every week
never
is
getting
different.
what-
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with different people in every city, and you don't know who's going to negotiate with you and who's not. And one week they may negotiate with you, and the next week they won't because their customer's a hard ass and isn't going to let them come up on the price. So, I mean, you just don't know.
But I always say, always ask, say, hey, are you flexible on this price? Say,
absolutely.
Hey, do you have some room? I mean, if anybody's bought anything off Facebook, that's my principle. I mean, I always
same thing.
I always ask. It doesn't hurt to ask, Usually people don't cut you off.
Here's the thing.
When you first ask.
I don't ask. Now, listen, if it's high priced and it just came up on the board and it's a really well traveled area, take it because somebody else will, and you will piss off the broker by asking for more money when they've got 10 other phone calls asking for it at that price. Take it. Don't play games. Take it.
So now you have to start to understand. Yeah, you got to really start to understand the marketplace. And this is a whole nother, listen, again, let's go back. You're focused on driving and loading and unloading. How are you going to focus on negotiation and understanding the marketplace? Can you do that while you're also a driver, loader, fixer, and more?
It's
What's
hard.
that like, Konstantin?
It's after you've been doing it for a while, yes.
I mean, I did it for 75% of the time I was on the road, and then I got a dispatcher.
Wait, what? You got a dispatcher?
I did. I got a dispatcher.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Sue?
I was a
Oh my
dispatcher
gosh.
for a little while for him, so yes.
Oh yeah, Sue did it.
Oh, even
I had to
better.
go across. Actually, yeah, I did this. Sue was great. She was fantastic. That was when I need to go across country. I didn't know which lanes paid well. I had to go get stuff back in New York. So when
Yep.
I was still kind of moving, so I actually had my own cars I had to get in New York.
Yep.
So I'm like, get me to New York. I like to zigzag, whatever, make the most money. If you can get me there, Sue, that'll be great. And she did, yeah. It worked out. So I recommend Sue. Yeah, Murphy Auto Transport right there.
But listen,
Thanks.
camera one,
Yeah.
if you're a driver, a carrier, an owner-operator, and you're able to do it all yourself, yeah, more power to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, props to you for sure.
And or if you want to have your wife be your dispatcher, that sounds amazing.
Kinda.
Sometimes
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of drivers
Yeah.
just from that scenario, Jay.
There you go.
So, so anyways,
Whoa,
why
buddy.
this is important is that here we are, we're on YouTube, we're talking about this. LinkedIn. See, LinkedIn is where you'll find all the business professionals, the shippers, the brokers, and all the people you move cars for. And as Zeb can tell you, if you try to go on LinkedIn and communicate with them about this stuff, they are not listening. Not listening. I'm telling you, they're not. Because this is all just jibber jabber. Just move my car for $100 and just do it. Well, where'd you get $100 at? Where'd you get that number? That's what I'm willing to pay. And this is where it gets interesting. You can't do that. You don't walk into Harbor Freight and say, "I'll give you $5 for this tool." Right? You don't go right.
Right.
You don't do that. No industry. You don't walk into the grocery store, put the eggs on the scanner, and go, "I'll pay $1 for that." I'm not paying more than $1. The grocery store says, "Okay, we'll go put it back and get out of our store." But that's not how auto transport works. In auto transport, the shippers and the brokers and the dealers, I think even the auctions, dictate to you what they're going to pay. And you have to negotiate with them on every car. So, Sue, I wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
DoorDash.
Yes.
When somebody works DoorDash, do they pick up 3 meals and then deliver, or is it 1 meal, 1 delivery, 1 meal, 1 delivery?
Oh,
It's
Do you know?
oh, so you can.
it's one at a time. I've door dashed, so
Okay, there you go.
if
I didn't
you
even
have
know. Yeah.
if you have another person in the car with you, you can do more than one.
Okay. So, but the point is here, in car hauling, if you're a 3-car hauler,
No, this is
Yeah.
That's what they're.
in car hauling, if you're a 3-car hauler, how many cars are you hauling at a time?
3.
3. So you can't book one. That's enough of that. You can't book one good paying load and go, can you?
Yeah,
No.
you can. Yeah, for sure.
No.
I mean, you can take one. I mean,
If you can, well, if it pays enough for your 3
Yeah.
spots.
For 3.
But
yeah,
I'm
I'd have to
raising.
pay enough for 3. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is another point. You don't see this on the Get Rich Car Well, I don't know what you see because I don't watch that dumb stuff. But the point is, you got to fill your truck.
Right.
And how are you going to fill your truck with 3 good paying loads that all pick up at the same place and all go to the same place? How likely is that?
Yeah, not.
That's rare.
Very rare.
Yeah.
So
if they're
now,
paying well, yeah.
so now you booked a load and you got to find 2 others, and the one you booked is already like, when are you delivering?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still booking 2 others.
Yeah.
No, you can't say that.
Yeah. You want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
I made that mistake. So I was starting out. I had the enclosed car hauler. I booked a load, and I was reminded of this like 3 years later. By the way, by the same broker. So I booked the load, and apparently, like I don't remember. I was starting out. This was 2019, hauling cars, and I guess I canceled on him. And when I was talking to him again in like 2022, he's like, "Yeah, we have you on the blacklist." I'm like, "Excuse me?" I was offended. I'm like, "What do you mean on the blacklist? What, I'm on your blacklist? Like, you don't use me? Why? What did I ever do to you?" He said, "Well, you booked a car with us and canceled." And I said, What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, here's your exactly what you said. You didn't have a car coming back the other way." And apparently, you're not supposed to say that. So that's what I learned.
No.
Don't tell the broker. Don't tell the
The
oh, I
truth.
think it was the other way. Yeah, don't tell.
Don't tell them the truth.
I had I had there was a car in the mountains that was supposed to come back to Denver, and I booked it. I was paying great, but I was like, I'll find a car going that direction, an enclosed car. No, I couldn't find one, so I just canceled that. Yeah, and he apparently didn't like that. So 3 years later, he told me, "No, you can't haul for me because you canceled." And I said, "Well, okay, I'm sorry. I was starting out. My bad. If you still need this car moved, I can move it for you." And he's like, he took me off this blacklist because he needed his car moved, and I apologized. So,
It's a great story. So going back to my eggs, I go to the grocery store, I pick up the eggs, I put them on the scanner, I'll pay you $1. They say no, put them back. I'm on the grocery store blacklist now. I can't even shop there anymore. So, okay, that's dumb. But Jay, the thing is, who really runs this industry?
Nice.
Is it the carriers?
No.
Do the carriers run?
No.
No.
No, because if you are in charge of the blacklist, you run the industry.
Yep.
Good point. Yeah.
Very true.
DDD is
And
offended, by the way.
sad. Konstantin, I would rather someone tell me
called the whitelist.
that,
I
you know
love
what
that.
I'd rather them tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Like then you can actually make it right if possible.
Yeah. I hate it with the I'm broke down. I'd rather you say I couldn't find another car to go with yours, okay? Honestly. Because I know you're lying to me when you say you broke down, okay? But that makes sense saying you can't find another car to go with my load. That makes more sense to me. Maybe it's because I'm on the transporter side of it too. So I get both sides of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've just moved into another chapter of this, which is nobody trusts each other. Nobody trusts each other. The FMCSA doesn't trust you. The dealers don't trust you. The auctions don't trust you. The brokers don't trust you. The shippers don't trust you. Nobody trusts you.
And we don't trust them.
Exactly.
We
Nobody
can't trust
trusts
them to
each
pay
other.
us. We can't trust them to verify the information. It's the same thing.
And we can
Everybody hates
prove
everybody.
this because we've been doing this show for years, and there's nobody here from any of those verticals because nobody trusts each other. Nobody.
It's an interesting industry for sure.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, does like the Brinks truck driver not trust the bank as much as I don't know. I don't know what it is with auto transport. I think that's why I've made this crazy show and I just keep doing it because it is the craziest industry ever.
Yeah.
And
it is. Yeah.
And there is no school. That's why I keep wondering, how do all these people keep getting into car hauling?
Well,
Can you answer that?
That's the attractive part. Yeah, because it's the Wild West of shipping. Freight, they got freight figured out, okay? They got Amazon droids, robots loading boxes in 53-foot dry vans, and they got it figured out. They know how much money they're making per square inch of that trailer. But car hauling, I mean, where are the statistics? You got Freight Waves telling you all the statistics on freight, but where's the statistics on cars? It's all hidden because they're all private companies. So what is going on? It's hard. We're always speculating. And how do you get things done? You always got to speculate and figure out how to get things done the right way. And it's interesting. I mean, honestly, I stopped car hauling, but I still have an itch that I want to do it again. Like, I want to go get an enclosed car hauler because that was the best. I love doing enclosed. Enclosed was awesome. By the way, once you go from enclosed to open, don't expect getting any tips. Enclosed people, they tip you. But tips with open car hauling, man, you better forget it. You know, dealers will never tip you.
I think it's interesting you pointed that out because we have learned kind of in new society, tipping is like, I mean, you know, if you get coffee, if you reach around the counter and pull a lever and dump liquid in a cup and turn back around and hand me the cup, there's a tip involved.
That's what the app should have now. All these eBOLs, all the inspections you got to sign off, they should have a next screen that says, you know, tip 15, 20, 75%, whatever.
Yeah. Good point.
I know one company that's never going to do that. Who cares? Okay, so I think we really reached a good stopping point. We're at an hour and a half. There's been some great input. I think that there's more people watching than will say anything, which also is good because I think that when it comes to education, if you're truly on the receiving end of education, you pretty much don't say anything. I've been there. I've taken notes, learned, and I didn't say a word. In fact, most videos I watch, I don't like them, I don't share them, I don't subscribe, nothing. That's the media world we're in today, and that's fine. I accept that. So, if this show has been helpful at all in helping you on your learning car hauling business 101 journey, that's great. If you have a question, put it in the comments. Send me an email, autotransportintel. I know it's the same email, the old email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. There's no point in updating it because I don't know. What is car hauling business? You know, you mentioned something about the robots. Are we going to get to an autonomous car hauling business future?
I don't think so. Not for a while.
Not completely, no.
I think if we are, it's gonna take a while, but it'll be what Tesla's doing right now, driving their own cars out of their plant to a customer's house.
Correct. And if dealers are a good third of your business, just take new cars and dealer to dealer. I'm not sure about the auction to dealer. I think that's going to be more hands-on for quite some time, just because of the nature of the transaction. Dealers and auctions don't trust each other either. There, I said it. They don't. Not at all.
Right.
They act like they do. You'll read that on LinkedIn all day. They don't. It's part of it because auctions are overcharging dealers. Do you know why there's no money for the carrier? It all went to the freaking auction.
Oh, yeah.
That's what company.
Yeah. Don't bring that up at the ARA next month. Okay. So the thing is that at Tesla, their news story just came out, and that is that the new car from the Tesla plant in Texas went to a customer in Texas. So it was a short drive, and we don't know what all was involved. But why wouldn't it be, if they've got robot dogs and all this other stuff that's going to come up and be pretty neat and scary, drone insects, why can't you program a car to deliver from the factory or dealer to the customer?
Well, don't count on GM to do it. So there's a big gap between Tesla and others. So I don't think it's something you got to worry about.
So we got we got a lot of time. Is that right? There's time.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you want the next generation to car haul, you know, if you want your kids to be a car hauler, you know, I might be different then. But I think right now, no, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, they can't even figure out the autonomous trucks for freight right now, which are pretty, I think, simple compared to car hauling. I mean, car hauling, like, you're going to stack cars east of the Mississippi, your height can only be 13.6. West is usually 14, unless you're in Colorado, which is 14.6 for the height. So it's like all these variables of transporting cars, they can't load themselves and strap themselves. We got time.
That's true.
DDD made a good one. Well, Ford cars are going to repo themselves if they don't break down first. By the way, the repo, yeah, that's another area. Cars will eventually, anyways. Okay, so let's put a year on. It's 2025. That means Learn Car Hauling Business 101 could still be relevant education in front of the 10 to 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
10 plus?
Definitely.
But by 2040, things are going to look a lot different. Some companies will have been purchased, sued, or irrelevant. Will there still be as many cars on the road? I mean, that's a whole nother show.
I mean, not to get too political, but I don't think we're moving forward too fast. But things.
Yeah, we are. We are repealing. In fact,
the last 4 years is
Any advancements in EV and carbon emissions are all being pulled back, and we're going to be in craziness. So it's good news. It's good news. If you want to get into car hauling, there's still plenty of time. There's still plenty of opportunities for an owner-operated car hauler in 2025. It's just that you got to understand this is not a. This is. Finish the sentence. This is not.
It's gonna last. I mean, there's gonna be car haulers for the next.
Okay, the business is gonna last, but getting into car hauling, what's the expectation? That's what I'm trying to. What should you really expect if you're getting into car hauling?
It's a it could be a cutthroat business, but it's I think it's worth it. I mean, I think it's fun. If you like seeing the sights, if you like transport, I mean, if you like driving and traveling, it's a great way to get paid for it. If you like cars, if you like all different types of cars, it's great. If you like meeting different types of people, it's great. You always meet somebody new. So it's a lot of fun, I think it's a lot of fun. Of course, it has its drawbacks, but in the long run, you got to take all the positives with it too. Like I said, I was doing the Rocky Mountains, so I got to go to a lot of cool places, different driving whatever hazards. Went over a lot of mountains in the snow. And it was fun, I hauled side by sides, got to go to different what you call them, outfitters that you can go hunting, but you can rent a side by side. So those guys return side by sides every fall. So anyway, you get to go to a lot of places, meet new people, and have a good time.
It is a fascinating journey, right? Like, you will see a lot and learn a lot and meet a lot of people. Sue, what would you say about getting into car hauling?
Well, I mean, I have one guy that just absolutely loves it. This is what he wanted to do. His kids are older and he enjoys it. Just like Konstantin said, he enjoys driving around. He enjoys seeing new places. I definitely think it's not for the faint of heart, business-wise. It's hard to get established now. Back in the day, it was way easier to get going and, get good loads and everything else. Now you have to really, when I always say earning your stripes, you really have to earn your stripes now. It's 6 months to a year before you can haul for everybody. And if you're like a big car hauler, a 9-car or something, and you're doing this on your own, it can take longer than that before they trust you to take their brand new cars, OEM stuff and stuff like that. So I don't know if I wouldn't do it, but that's me. So
well, I would, I wouldn't either. But I think I've made that clear, and I don't want to harp on it. But so, and there's a need. There's a lot of cars that need to be hauled, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's way more cars than there are back in the day. I mean, do you remember, probably what, 5, 6, at least 6 years ago, there used to only be like 17 to 20,000 loads on the board. Now there's usually 50,000 on a regular. So that tells you the difference between now and
Yeah,
then
and
too.
that's one load board, right? That's not even counting
Right,
United, the Certus,
right,
whoever else.
right,
Yeah.
right. Super dispatch, that kind of thing. So
How
yeah,
many does a
absolutely.
Certus have? Do you know how many United Road or a Certus has on their boards?
Well, I don't even get on United Road anymore because they're so cheap. I don't even deal with them.
Hmm.
Metro, I'm not really sure because most of Metro stuff is listed on Central. So it's kind of hard, you know what I mean, to say if that you
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
include
true.
that in that number, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, and it's the same thing with Cars Arrive. They used to be a big company and they hardly have anything on the board anymore, even on their own
Interesting.
load board. Um, a lot of the big players that I would consider the big players back in the day are not big players any longer. They've kind of, gone by the wayside. Like we were talking about a big company that I used to haul with every single probably day, and they hardly list cars at all anymore.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think. Yeah,
I think
go
the
ahead.
cars are out there. Like
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where they went because, I mean, during 2020, of course, it all shrank and all that, but um, I don't think the American people ship that many less cars than before. I mean, I think they're out there. I mean, whoever's listening, the cars are out there to get shipped.
Yeah.
We just they're just all over the place, Central, Super, wherever.
Right.
Well, I suppose the workers in any industry are the ones that feel the most pain. I know that, I talk like this, I sound like some kind of socialist or something, but I'm just talking about people's quality of life. And the disparity in the quality of life of someone that works at an auction or a dealership or a brokerage or a car hauling company is so different. It's massively different. And there's also this real guarding of information, and it's just, to me, is proof that if you are a car hauler, there's a really high chance you're going to be somewhere low on the totem pole and never be able to move from that spot. And if you're cool with that, you're perfect for car hauling. But if you're not cool with that, and I see some folks talking about $1 million business and this and that, that is so rare.
Yeah.
I don't even know anybody that has a multi-million-dollar car hauling business. I don't know anybody. Do you?
No. They probably have that in assets.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
Right. Yeah.
debts. But yeah, I don't know anybody.
No.
And that's the problem.
Same.
So the idea that you're going to get rich car hauling sounds awesome. I just don't think it's very likely.
Yeah,
But
I
if
don't.
you enjoy driving and loading and you're
I
looking
think
for
you can
something,
have a comfortable living, but you're
Yeah,
right. You're on the road to make
Mhm.
that living.
yeah,
So you have to like it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to scale also. I mean, if you're going to if you want to have that, whatever, $1 million revenue every month or whatever, like you need to scale. You can't stay at one truck. That's not going to
Right.
happen. You'll have to have a fleet, or you have to broker. You got to be a carrier, a broker,
you just said it.
dispatcher, all of it.
Exactly.
And
If
do a little
you
bit of
want
A
everything.
dealer.
if you
Yeah.
want the $1 million lifestyle in the boat, you might want to be a broker. The problem is there's already a jillion brokers.
Yeah.
That's a different show. But hopefully this has been helpful. We're at almost 2 hours, so I think we're going to call it.
Yep. Gotcha.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, thanks for having me on, Jay. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Konstantin and Sue, both of you, I'm so glad that you all talked about this about a month ago, or whatever it was.
Yep.
Then we met again, put some notes together. It wasn't the hardest show to put together, but without you, I could not I couldn't do this topic without you. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it feels, you know, Konstantin, it feels like kind of a homecoming. We saw you quite a while back on the channel, maybe once or twice or whatever it was. So it's great to have you back on this topic. Really, really awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I had a good time. Thanks for having me on, for sure. Yeah.
I appreciate it. And Sue, I'll see you again. We'll do a show next month. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
And we'll also have somebody look at your internet.
Yeah. Good luck with that, Jay.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, this is car hauling. Come on, man. All right, I'll put you guys in the waiting room. Thank you.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
All right,
ya.
see ya. All right, what I did is I just ended the meeting for all. That was easier. I got some more slides, but I'm going to save them for the next show. That was really a lot. And, okay, so Jay, say goodbye. Can you do it in less than 30 seconds? I'm going to try. If you enjoyed this show, please do like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Or not. It's fine. I get it. But hopefully it's been helpful and provided a full perspective. Because there's really a lot to know. There's a lot of nuances between the truck, the equipment, the insurance, what's your mindset, DOT, ELD, CDL, and all the other stickers. And then how do you get loaded? And what is this industry about? Who are you hauling for? What's your area? Have you figured out? We talked about a triangle and loading, and we talked about dispatching. There's really a lot to it. So please, let me know if this has been helpful. Please do leave a like. And I love comments, etc. So we'll be back with another great show whenever we are going to do that. This is ATI Auto Business. My name is Jay. Thank you so much. And I'm going to run the car hauler. See you soon.